mentioned crisis in inverted commas because that crisis has been manufactured, and I think that links to my second point. Because of the crisis that is there, any form of civil disobedience has been escalated to become an act leading towards civil war. It almost feels as if the country is fighting within and with each other. And I think that is the kind of feeling that is, like whipped up, more so in Bersih 2.0, but it's also something that you could see in Bersih 3.0, like the people, there'll be, there are talks of like what, roads closed, inconveniences, lack of income for the traders, etc. And the demonization of the protesters. That was done before. So that feeling of civil war, quote unquote, is being whipped up. So I think that's a very important context to look at how journalists were treated. I think it's the first time in the history of Malaysia that journalists are attacked and targeted when covering rallies. Journalists have covered rallies before. I was on the ground during 1999, 2000, when reformasi was happening, not as a journalist, but someone who wants to look at what's happening, quote-unquote participant observer. And journalists were tolerated during that period. I mean, police still don't have a testy relationship with journalists, but they were tolerated at the very least. They were not touched, though. This time around, journalists were not just touched, but roughed up, arrested, equipment taken, seized, things that are seized from journalists, beaten up. There's a journalist who got hit by tear gas canister. There's someone with a broken left rib, possible internal injuries. So all these are things that happen to journalists. Equipment broken, seized. Some are hospitalized. Radzi Raza is hospitalized. Some have lodged police reports. Arif Kartono, Wong On Kin, Lo Bun Tat, Radzi Raza. And arrests were made. I guess apart from, there's Huang Anjian, and I think there's another person arrested as well. So all these are documented. So there are at least 12 such cases of violence against journalists while they are covering the incident. And it begs the kind of question, why would it looks like it's a concerted effort to target journalists and to target really people who are out there to document it professionally, what happened on the ground. So there is at least one case. There are 12 cases of alleged police abuse. There is one case allegedly by protesters. So I think Bersih, what has happened in Bersih 3.0 is that the media personnel now feels what it's like to be a protester. Yeah? If before they had a shield of, that covers them, the media tag that allows them to go to places where we cannot go, now it's become basically like a banner that says, hit me, for some people anyway. So I think that is something that is really important. Not to say that what happened to journalists is not important, not to put it down in any means, but to just contextualize and say that protesters, peaceful protesters, have had this happen to them before. This is the first time that journalists get a taste of it. Just that. My third point, we talk about responses. Media freedom is partly something that has to be fought by journalists, and I think journalists understand that. But media freedom is also, and access to information is something that needs to be fought for by the people as well. We have a stake in this. We have a stake because we need information that is accurate, we need information that is fair, we need information that is balanced in order for us to get that big picture, all the pieces of that jigsaw puzzle that I mentioned earlier. Journalists have responded. You find that they have lodged police reports, 3 at least. Tomorrow at 12 o'clock, some journalists are congregating at Malaysia Kini office, and they'll be doing something there. There's been a petition online that's been signed by 2,000 plus people, and it started by Gobind Rudra from the Institute of Journalists sitting over there. And There was also a joint statement by editors of online media, primarily online media, and all these are done by journalists themselves. So I think there are people within the journalist fraternity, sorority, who want to push for a bit more maybe. But let's see what they themselves will do. And I think it's very important for journalists to take this issue up themselves. It's easy for us, it's easy for me to say, come guys, let's do this. Tomorrow we go in front of Bukit Aman, hold things that say press freedom, no violence, stop killing journalists or stop violence against journalists, etc. It's easy for us to do that. But part of that struggle and part of that very important struggle is for journalists to take themselves up this issue. And I think if before this they haven't been woken up, I hope this will be that wake-up call. We can discuss other issues after this, because I think we ought to give time for others. Thank you.